Life will challenge you. Problems will appear unexpectedly. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Every day, you face situations that test your patience, focus, and ability to make the right decisions. How you respond in these moments determines whether you move forward or stay stuck. The ability to focus on solutions rather than problems is not a skill some people are born with. It is something you can train and strengthen. This audiobook is a practical guide to transforming the way you think, act, and respond. You will learn how to stop wasting energy on worry and negative thoughts, how to take responsibility in difficult moments, and how to make decisions that move your life forward even when circumstances feel impossible. You will discover ways to build resilience, strengthen discipline, and develop daily habits that make your mind sharp and focused. Every chapter is designed to give you real, actionable steps you can apply immediately. You will gain strategies to stay calm under pressure, turn setbacks into opportunities, and take control of your growth no matter what life throws at you. By the end of this audiobook, you will not just survive challenges, you will learn to respond with clarity, confidence, and determination. If you are ready to stop letting problems control you and start winning in any situation, this guide will show you how to train your mind, focus on solutions, and take your life to the next level. Chapter 1: Train your mind to search solutions instantly. The mind will always move in one direction or another. It will move toward fear or toward clarity. It will move toward blame or toward action. It will move toward confusion or toward a solution. Every day gives you proof of this. A difficult message arrives and the mind can panic. A bill appears and the mind can complain. A mistake is made and the mind can collapse into shame. Or the mind can do something stronger. It can pause. It can breathe. It can ask one simple question that changes everything. What can be done now? That question is not small. It is a turning point. It is the first step toward a life that does not break under pressure. It is the beginning of a trained mind. A trained mind does not waste its first energy on drama. It does not stop at pain. It does not decorate problems with extra suffering. It sees the situation clearly and starts looking for the next useful move. That is a skill. It is also a discipline. And like every strong discipline, it must be practiced before it becomes natural. Most people are not defeated by the problem itself. They are defeated by the delay before action. They get stuck in the space between pain and response. In that space, the mind can become loud. It can replay past failures. It can invent future disasters. It can turn one setback into a full collapse. But that space is where your power lives too. The same space that creates fear can create strength. The same pause that gives rise to panic can give rise to wisdom. The difference is training. Training the mind to search for solutions instantly does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean denying pain. It does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means becoming useful even while under stress. It means learning to face reality without adding extra weakness to it. It means accepting that life will not always be fair and that your response still matters deeply. This is where personal power begins, not in perfect conditions, not in easy days, in real life, in pressure, in uncertainty, in the moment when you would rather give up but choose instead to think clearly. A solution-focused mind begins with honesty. Many people try to improve their life by repeating positive words while ignoring the real problem. That does not work for long. False comfort disappears when the pressure rises. Real strength comes from seeing things as they are. If your budget is broken, then say so. If your health is slipping, then say so. If your habits are causing your pain, then say so. Clear eyes create a clear path. Confusion weakens action. Truth strengthens it. When a problem appears, your first job is not to judge yourself. Your first job is to understand the situation. Ask yourself what is happening. Ask what is within your control. Ask what is not within your control. This is a very old form of wisdom, and it remains powerful because it is true. You do not control every event. You do control your next move. You do not control the mood of other people. You do control your words. You do not control every loss. You do control how you build from it. This distinction removes a great burden from the mind. It cuts away useless struggle and leaves useful effort behind. A mind trained for solutions does not demand that life be easy before it acts. It acts because action is needed. That is one of the highest forms of self-respect. When a person says, "I am upset, but I will still think clearly," they are becoming stronger. When a person says, "This is hard, but I will still take the next step," they are becoming dependable. When a person says, "I cannot change the whole situation, but I can improve this part," they are becoming dangerous in the best way. They are no longer passive. They are no longer ruled by emotional weather. They are becoming steady. This kind of strength begins with one habit. Slow down the first reaction. The first reaction is often the least wise. It belongs to instinct. It belongs to old fear. It belongs to the part of the mind that wants protection more than progress. When something goes wrong, the body can tighten, the breath can become short, the thoughts can become sharp and unfair. In that moment, do not trust the rush. Create one small pause. Take one deep breath. Relax the shoulders. Unclench the jaw. Feel your feet on the ground. This is not a fancy exercise. It is a reset. It gives the thinking mind a chance to return. After the pause comes the question: what is the problem? What is the next useful action? What would make this situation one step better? That is where the search for solutions begins. Not with fantasy, not with blame, not with self-pity. With action. A solution is often smaller than the emotion around the problem. This is important to understand. The emotion may feel huge. The action may be simple. Make the call. Write the plan. Apologize. Ask for help. Remove the distraction. Do the work. Send the message. Take the walk. Review the facts. Fix the one thing that can be fixed today. Small useful actions build confidence because they prove that the situation is not in full control of you. The mind also needs practice in how it speaks to itself. Many people become defeated before the battle starts because the inner voice becomes cruel. It says, "I always fail." It says, "I cannot handle this." It says, "This is too much." That voice must be challenged. Not with empty cheerfulness, but with truth. Replace always with now. Replace "I cannot" with "I have not yet found the way." Replace too much with what can be handled first. The way you speak to yourself shapes the way you move. A harsh inner voice drains energy. A disciplined inner voice directs energy. You do not need perfect confidence to begin solving problems. You need enough honesty to start. Confidence often comes after movement, not before it. Many people wait to feel ready and lose precious time. Readiness is useful, but it is not always available. Discipline is available. You can act while uncertain. You can think while uncomfortable. You can progress while afraid. This is one of the great lessons of life. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is clear action in the presence of fear. A solution-focused mind learns to carry fear without letting fear hold the steering wheel. There is another habit that makes a great difference. Stop asking why this is happening to me as your first question. That question may have emotional value, but it rarely produces movement. Ask what now. Ask what is required. Ask what can be learned. Ask what step would reduce the damage. These questions are not cold. They are mature. They turn attention away from helplessness and toward responsibility. Responsibility does not mean blame. It means power. It means recognizing that even if you did not choose the problem, you still choose the response. A person who trains the mind to search for solutions instantly must also learn to tolerate discomfort. Many problems stay alive because people avoid the discomfort required to solve them. A difficult conversation is delayed. A task is postponed. A habit is ignored. A decision is avoided. Each delay gives the problem more strength. Discomfort is often the price of freedom. It is paid in small amounts. You speak the hard truth. You sit with the awkward feeling. You make the uncomfortable call. You finish the task that was draining your mind. Once you act, the fear often shrinks. The body learns that discomfort is not danger. It is simply the doorway to progress. This is where daily life becomes the training ground. You do not train solution thinking only in large crises. You train it in ordinary moments. A messy room is a problem. A tired body is a problem. A distracted morning is a problem. A missed deadline is a problem. Each one offers a chance to practice a better mental reflex. Instead of saying "this day is ruined," ask, what can still be improved. Instead of saying, "I wasted the morning," ask how the rest of the day can be used well. Instead of saying, "Nothing is going right," ask, "Which part can be made better now?" These are not tricks. They are habits of strength. The person who consistently looks for solutions also learns not to feed what cannot be changed. There are things you can influence and things you cannot. You cannot control every opinion. You cannot control every memory. You cannot control every outcome. But you can control effort. You can control attention. You can control the next conversation. You can control how you prepare. You can control whether you learn from the event. This is where peace lives. Not in controlling everything, but in knowing where your control ends. A mind that respects limits becomes calmer and more effective. When pressure rises, the solution-focused mind avoids emotional exaggeration. It does not say, "This is the worst day of my life," when it is merely a bad hour. It does not declare total defeat because one plan failed. It does not build a permanent identity out of a temporary mistake. That kind of exaggeration makes problems heavier than they are. Instead, speak with precision. Say what happened. Say what failed. Say what still remains. Precision reduces fear. It gives the mind clean ground to stand on. A clear sentence can be more powerful than a dramatic speech. One powerful exercise is to break any problem into 3 parts. What is the issue? What is the cause? What is the next action? This simple pattern can save a great deal of wasted thinking. The issue keeps you honest. The cause helps you understand. The action keeps you moving. If your work is falling behind, the issue may be poor time use. The cause may be too many distractions. The next action may be setting 1 hour of uninterrupted focus. If your energy is low, the issue may be sleep or nutrition. The cause may be neglected routines. The next action may be going to bed earlier tonight. A trained mind does not need a perfect answer to begin. It needs a clear next move. Do not underestimate the value of asking better questions. Questions shape attention. Attention shapes emotion. Emotion shapes behavior. Behavior shapes life. So ask questions that lead to movement. What matters most right now? What can be simplified? What is the smallest action that would help? What am I avoiding? What would I do if I were calm? These questions are practical. They are also powerful because they move the mind out of helpless stories and into useful work. Solution thinking also grows through preparation. The mind responds better under pressure when it has already rehearsed calm action. That means building simple systems before problems arrive. Keep a notebook for ideas and decisions. Review your day each evening. Identify the common issues that keep returning. Notice the situations that drain you most. Prepare responses in advance. When you know your weak points, you can create guards around them. A person who prepares does not panic as easily because the mind has already walked the road. The unknown becomes less threatening when the essentials are already practiced. A solution-focused life is built on habits that protect mental energy. Sleep matters. Food matters. Movement matters. Clean surroundings matter. A tired body makes the mind more fragile. A chaotic environment makes thinking harder. A neglected routine increases emotional reactivity. People often search for a mental breakthrough when they actually need a better daily structure. Start with the basics. Wake up with purpose. Drink water. Move your body. Reduce clutter. Work in focused blocks. Rest properly. These ordinary actions create a stable mind. A stable mind is far more likely to find solutions quickly. You also need the courage to ask for help in a wise way. Some people think asking for help means weakness. That belief makes them isolated. In truth, a strong person knows when support will improve the result. Asking for help is not surrendering responsibility. It is gathering resources. A solution can come from a different point of view. A mentor may see what you missed. A friend may calm your mind. A skilled person may shorten a long struggle. Pride can delay healing. Humility can speed it. Still, the final responsibility remains yours. No one can think for you. No one can choose your response. No one can live your life. That truth can feel heavy at first. It is also freeing. Your mind is not a prison. It is a workshop. You can train it. You can teach it to look for what works. You can strengthen it through repetition. Each time you choose a solution over complaint, you are rewriting your reflexes. Each time you choose action over delay, you are building inner trust. Each time you choose clarity over emotional chaos, you are becoming someone harder to shake. There will be days when you do not succeed perfectly. That is part of the process. A trained mind is not a mind that never struggles. It is a mind that returns quickly. The return matters. If you fall into complaint, notice it. If you sink into fear, notice it. If you spend too long in confusion, notice it and come back. There is no shame in needing to reset. The shame lies in refusing to learn. Failure can become instruction if you are willing to listen. Every setback contains information. Every mistake points to a correction. Every loss can sharpen your judgment if you let it. The strongest people are often not those with the easiest lives. They are the ones who developed reliable thinking under pressure. They learned how to pause. They learned how to ask better questions. They learned how to face reality without drama. They learned how to work with what is available. They learned that a calm mind can save time, money, energy, and relationships. They learned that solving problems quickly is not about luck. It is about self-command. This is the real goal, not to become a person who never faces trouble. That is impossible. The goal is to become a person who meets trouble with usefulness. A person who does not waste hours blaming the world. A person who moves the body and mind toward what can be fixed. A person who can feel pressure without becoming ruled by it. A person who can look at life with steady eyes and say, this is the situation and now I will act. Begin today with one problem. Not the biggest problem. Not the whole life. One problem. Write it down in plain words. Remove the emotional decoration. Then ask what is within my control. Ask what is the smallest helpful action. Do that action today. Then another tomorrow. Build the habit of immediate useful thought. The mind will learn from repetition. What is repeated becomes familiar. What is familiar becomes natural. What is natural becomes character. This is how a solution-focused life is formed. Do not wait for a better mood. Do not wait for the perfect sign. Do not wait until fear disappears. Begin with what is in front of you and move one step at a time. The world rewards those who can stay useful under pressure. Calm thought, clear action, quiet strength. These things may not look dramatic at first, but over time they change everything. A person who can find solutions quickly becomes harder to defeat because that person has learned how to stay in the fight without losing the mind. Hold this lesson closely. Every problem asks a question of you. Will you collapse into complaint or rise into action? Will you give your energy to fear or to work? Will you let the moment control you, or will you train the mind to guide the moment? The answer is built in the small choices you make again and again. Train those choices well. Train them with patience. Train them with honesty. Train them with discipline. Over time your mind will become a place of strength. And once that happens, you will not only survive more of life, you will begin to win in it. Chapter 20. Replace negative thoughts with deliberate solution-focused thinking. Negative thoughts do not appear quietly. They arrive with urgency and demand attention. They speak quickly and often sound convincing. A small mistake becomes a sign of failure. A delay becomes a sign of weakness. A challenge becomes a sign that things will never improve. If these thoughts are accepted without question, they shape your decisions, your emotions, and your results. The mind begins to expect difficulty before it happens. It prepares for defeat instead of progress. Over time, this habit drains energy and weakens confidence. The truth is that negative thinking is not simply a personality trait. It is a pattern, and every pattern can be changed with awareness and deliberate effort. A solution-focused mind is not built by eliminating every negative thought. It is built by learning how to respond to those thoughts with clarity and intention. You do not control the first thought that appears. You control what you do next. That is where your strength lies. Many people believe that negative thoughts are realistic and positive thinking is unrealistic. This belief keeps them stuck. A solution-focused mindset is not about blind optimism. It is about useful thinking. It is about choosing thoughts that move you forward instead of thoughts that hold you back. When a problem appears, the negative mind says this is impossible. The solution-focused mind says this is difficult, but something can still be done. One creates paralysis. The other creates movement. The first step in replacing negative thoughts is noticing them without reacting. This may seem simple, but it requires discipline. Negative thoughts often become automatic. They appear so quickly that you barely recognize them. Begin by observing your inner dialogue. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself when things go wrong. Notice phrases like "this will never work," "I always mess things up," "I cannot handle this." These statements are not facts. They are interpretations shaped by emotion. Once you notice these thoughts, you can create distance from them. Instead of accepting them, immediately pause and examine them. Ask whether the thought is useful. Ask whether it is accurate. Ask whether it helps you take action. If the answer is no, then the thought does not deserve control. You do not need to fight it aggressively. Simply replace it with a more constructive alternative. Replace "this is impossible" with "what is one step I can take." Replace "I cannot handle this" with "what part can I manage right now." Replace "everything is ruined" with "what can still be improved." This shift may feel small, but it changes the direction of your mind. A negative thought pushes you toward helplessness. A solution-focused thought pulls you toward action. The more often you make this shift, the stronger it becomes. Over time, your mind learns to search for progress automatically. Another powerful method is to challenge exaggerated thinking. Negative thoughts often turn one event into a sweeping conclusion. A missed opportunity becomes proof that success will never happen. A disagreement becomes proof that relationships always fail. This kind of thinking creates unnecessary suffering. It makes problems appear larger than they really are. To counter this habit, return to specific facts. Ask what actually happened. Ask what evidence supports the negative belief. Ask whether the situation is temporary. Precision reduces emotional distortion and allows clearer thinking. Your environment also influences your thinking patterns. A cluttered space can create mental noise. Constant distractions can increase frustration. Surround yourself with conditions that support calm thinking. Create a simple and organized workspace. Limit unnecessary information. Choose moments of quiet reflection. These small adjustments help your mind stay steady when challenges arise. A steady mind is more capable of replacing negativity with purposeful thought. Your daily routine also shapes your mental state. When your day begins with confusion, your thoughts often follow the same path. Start your day with clarity. Identify your most important task. Set realistic goals. Focus on progress rather than perfection. Each completed task builds confidence and reduces negative thinking. The mind begins to expect success because it experiences consistent achievement. Physical habits play a role as well. Lack of sleep increases emotional sensitivity. Poor nutrition weakens focus. Limited movement reduces energy. These factors make negative thoughts more persistent. Take care of your body as part of training your mind. Rest well. Eat thoughtfully. Move regularly. A balanced body supports balanced thinking. It is also important to recognize that negative thoughts often appear during uncertainty. The mind tries to protect you by imagining worst-case scenarios. This instinct can be helpful in moderation, but harmful when it dominates your thinking. Instead of allowing fear to guide you, ask practical questions. What is the likely outcome? What preparation would help? What steps reduce risk? This approach transforms fear into preparation. It shifts your focus from worry to readiness. Another helpful practice is writing down your thoughts. When thoughts remain in your mind, they can feel overwhelming. Writing them down creates clarity. Once written, you can examine them objectively. Identify which thoughts are negative and unhelpful. Then rewrite them in solution-focused language. This process trains your mind to replace negativity with constructive thinking. Your inner voice should be firm but fair. Harsh self-criticism weakens motivation. Gentle honesty strengthens it. If you make a mistake, acknowledge it without attacking yourself. Say, "This did not work and I will improve next time." This approach encourages growth without damaging confidence. Over time, your inner voice becomes a reliable guide rather than a source of doubt. It is also useful to practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts attention toward what is working. It does not ignore problems but balances perspective. Each day, identify a few things that are going well. These can be simple: a productive hour, a supportive conversation, a completed task. Recognizing progress reduces the intensity of negative thinking. It reminds your mind that challenges exist alongside opportunities. The people around you also influence your mindset. Negative conversations can reinforce pessimistic thinking. Seek out individuals who encourage growth and problem-solving. Surround yourself with people who discuss solutions instead of complaints. Their mindset will strengthen your own. If supportive people are not available, create your own environment through books and educational content that promotes resilience and clarity. Training your mind requires repetition. One positive thought does not change everything. Consistent practice builds lasting change. Each time you replace a negative thought, you strengthen a new pathway. Over time, this becomes your default response. Challenges still appear, but your mind reacts differently. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you begin searching for progress immediately. There will be moments when negative thoughts return strongly. This is normal. Growth is not a straight line. When this happens, return to your practice. Notice the thought, question its usefulness, replace it with constructive thinking. Continue taking small actions. Progress is built through persistence. Your mindset shapes your future. A mind filled with negative thinking limits possibilities. A mind trained for solutions expands them. This transformation does not require extraordinary talent. It requires discipline and consistency. Each day offers opportunities to practice. Each challenge provides training. Each step forward strengthens your confidence. Replace negativity with deliberate thinking. Choose clarity over confusion. Choose action over hesitation. Choose growth over doubt. These choices may seem small, but they accumulate. Over time, they shape your character and your life. A person who learns to guide thoughts deliberately becomes more resilient. Difficult situations no longer feel overwhelming. Setbacks become lessons. Obstacles become opportunities for improvement. Confidence grows not from perfect outcomes, but from steady effort. Begin now with one negative thought. Identify it clearly. Replace it with a solution-focused alternative. Take one small action. Repeat this process daily. Gradually your mind will change. Your thinking will become more disciplined. Your actions will become more effective. Your life will begin to reflect this transformation. This is how strength is built. This is how clarity is developed. This is how you train your mind to move from negativity to solutions. Over time, this habit becomes part of who you are. And when that happens, you will face life with calm determination and steady confidence. Chapter 30. Build resilience by responding calmly to every challenge. Resilience is not built in comfort. It is built in moments when life does not go as planned. It is built when expectations fall apart, when pressure rises, when emotions become heavy, and when the mind is tempted to react without thinking. In those moments, the way you respond shapes your strength. A calm response does not remove the challenge, but it gives you control over your direction. Without calmness, emotions take control. With calmness, clarity returns, and clarity leads to better decisions. Every challenge tests your internal stability. A sudden problem at work, a disagreement with someone close, an unexpected loss, or a simple inconvenience can disturb your peace. These events are unavoidable. The difference between a resilient person and someone who struggles often lies in how they react in the first few moments. Many people react quickly. They speak harshly, assume the worst, or withdraw completely. These reactions often create new problems. A calm response, on the other hand, preserves energy and keeps the situation manageable. Calmness is not something that appears automatically. It is trained through deliberate practice. When a challenge appears, the first step is to slow down your reaction. This does not require complicated techniques. It begins with awareness. Notice the tension in your body. Notice the change in your breathing. Notice the urge to react immediately. These signals indicate that your mind is preparing for a defensive response. Instead of following that impulse, pause briefly. Allow your breathing to slow down. Let your thoughts settle. This small pause creates space for reason. Once calmness begins to return, you can examine the situation more clearly. Ask yourself what actually happened. Avoid assumptions. Avoid emotional exaggeration. Focus on facts. This practice prevents your mind from creating unnecessary stress. When you see things as they are, the challenge often becomes less overwhelming. Calm thinking helps you recognize what needs attention and what can be ignored. Resilience grows when you accept that discomfort is part of growth. Many people resist challenges because they associate them with failure. In reality, challenges often provide valuable lessons. A mistake reveals areas for improvement. A setback teaches patience. A delay strengthens persistence. When you approach challenges calmly, you gain insight instead of frustration. Over time, this mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities for development. Another important part of resilience is emotional discipline. Emotions are natural, but they do not need to control your behavior. When anger appears, acknowledge it without acting impulsively. When fear arises, recognize it without retreating. When disappointment occurs, accept it without giving up. Emotional discipline allows you to remain steady even when feelings are intense. This steadiness builds confidence because you learn that you can handle difficult emotions without losing control. Your environment can also influence your calmness. A chaotic setting can increase stress and make calm responses more difficult. Create spaces that promote clarity and focus. Keep your surroundings organized. Reduce unnecessary distractions. Spend time in quiet reflection. These small adjustments support mental balance. A balanced environment makes it easier to respond calmly when challenges arise. Daily habits play a significant role in building resilience. A structured routine creates stability. When your day begins with purpose, you become less vulnerable to sudden disruptions. Start with simple habits that support calmness. Wake up at a consistent time. Take a few moments for reflection. Plan your priorities. These actions strengthen your mental foundation. A strong foundation makes it easier to remain calm under pressure. Physical well-being also contributes to resilience. Fatigue weakens patience. Poor nutrition reduces focus. Lack of movement increases stress. Taking care of your body supports emotional stability. Regular exercise releases tension and improves mood. Adequate rest restores mental clarity. Balanced nutrition supports sustained energy. These practices create a stronger mind capable of calm responses. Resilience also requires patience. Not every challenge can be solved immediately. Some situations require time and steady effort. A calm mind understands this and avoids unnecessary frustration. Instead of demanding instant results, focus on consistent progress. Small improvements accumulate over time. Patience allows you to maintain calmness even when progress is slow. Another essential element of resilience is perspective. Challenges often appear larger when viewed in isolation. Step back and consider the broader picture. Ask yourself whether this situation will matter in the long term. Many difficulties lose their intensity when viewed from a wider perspective. This shift helps you respond calmly and make thoughtful decisions. Resilient individuals also learn from experience. Each challenge provides information. Reflect on how you handled past difficulties. Identify what worked and what did not. Use these lessons to improve your response in future situations. This continuous learning process strengthens resilience. Over time, you develop confidence in your ability to navigate challenges calmly. Support from others can also enhance resilience. Sharing your thoughts with someone you trust can provide clarity. A different perspective can reveal solutions you may have overlooked. Seeking support does not weaken independence. It strengthens your ability to respond thoughtfully. Choose supportive relationships that encourage calm thinking and constructive action. It is also helpful to practice calmness during ordinary moments. You do not need to wait for major challenges. When minor frustrations occur, use them as training opportunities. A delayed response, a small mistake, or an unexpected inconvenience can become a chance to practice calmness. Responding calmly in small situations builds confidence for larger challenges. Self-awareness is another key aspect of resilience. Understand your triggers. Recognize situations that increase your stress. Prepare strategies for handling them. This preparation reduces emotional reactions. When you know your patterns, you can respond more effectively. Resilience also grows when you focus on what you can control. Many challenges involve factors beyond your influence. Trying to control everything increases frustration. Instead, direct your attention toward your actions, your mindset, and your decisions. This focus reduces stress and strengthens calmness. Another valuable practice is maintaining a balanced mindset. Avoid extremes in your thinking. A single success does not guarantee perfection. A single failure does not define your ability. Balanced thinking promotes calmness and stability. It prevents emotional swings that weaken resilience. Confidence also plays a role in calm responses. Confidence develops through consistent effort. Each time you handle a challenge calmly, your confidence grows. You begin to trust your ability to manage difficulties. This trust reduces anxiety and supports resilience. Resilience is also strengthened by purpose. When you have clear goals, challenges become part of your journey rather than obstacles. Purpose provides motivation to remain calm and persistent. It reminds you that difficulties are temporary and progress is possible. Gratitude can also support calmness. Acknowledging positive aspects of your life balances your perspective. Gratitude does not eliminate challenges, but it reduces their emotional impact. A grateful mind remains steady even during difficult times. Resilience is built gradually. It requires patience, discipline, and consistent practice. Each calm response strengthens your ability to handle future challenges. Over time, calmness becomes your natural reaction. You no longer feel overwhelmed by difficulties. Instead, you approach them with clarity and determination. Life will continue to present challenges. Some will be small, others significant. Your response determines your growth. By choosing calmness, you preserve your energy and strengthen your mind. Calmness allows you to think clearly, act wisely, and maintain resilience. Begin with your next challenge. Notice your reaction. Slow down your response. Focus on facts. Choose calmness deliberately. Take thoughtful action. Repeat this process consistently. With time, your resilience will grow. You will face difficulties with confidence and composure. This is how resilience is built. Through calm responses, through steady thinking, through disciplined action. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your mind. Each calm decision brings you closer to lasting resilience. Chapter 4. Develop daily habits that strengthen problem-solving mindset. A strong problem-solving mindset is not built during emergencies. It is built quietly through daily habits. The way you start your morning, the way you respond to small frustrations, the way you organize your time, and the way you reflect on your day all shape how you handle larger challenges. Many people try to become better problem solvers only when life becomes difficult. By then the mind is already under pressure and clarity becomes harder to find. A disciplined mind is trained before the storm arrives. It becomes steady through repetition and consistency. Daily habits shape the direction of your thinking. If your day begins with distraction, your thoughts become scattered. If your day begins with purpose, your thinking becomes structured. The first habit that strengthens problem solving is beginning each day with clarity. When you wake up, take a few quiet moments before engaging with the world. Avoid rushing into noise. Allow your mind to settle. Ask yourself what matters most today. Identify one or two meaningful tasks. This simple act trains your mind to prioritize solutions instead of reacting to whatever appears first. Clarity in the morning creates momentum. When you know what needs to be done, your mind stops searching for excuses. Instead, it begins searching for ways to complete the task. This shift may appear small, but it changes your mental direction. You stop drifting and start acting with intention. Over time, this habit builds confidence because you see consistent progress. Another habit that strengthens problem solving is writing things down. Thoughts that remain in your head often become confusing. Writing them on paper creates order. When you face a challenge, describe it in simple words. Break it into smaller parts. Identify what you can control. This process removes mental clutter and allows you to think clearly. A written problem often appears less intimidating because it becomes specific and manageable. Time management is also essential. A scattered schedule creates unnecessary stress. When you feel rushed, your mind becomes reactive. You start making decisions without careful thought. Create blocks of focused time during your day. During these blocks, dedicate your full attention to one task. This habit strengthens concentration and trains your mind to work through challenges patiently. A focused mind sees details that a distracted mind misses. Reflection is another powerful habit. At the end of your day, take a few minutes to review your actions. Ask yourself what worked well. Ask what could be improved. This daily reflection helps you learn from experience. Without reflection, mistakes repeat. With reflection, mistakes become lessons. Over time, this habit builds wisdom. You begin to notice patterns in your thinking and behavior. You become more aware of what helps and what holds you back. Another important habit is asking better questions. Your mind responds to the questions you ask. If you ask why everything goes wrong, your mind searches for negative answers. If you ask how to improve, your mind searches for solutions. Train yourself to ask constructive questions throughout the day. When something does not go as planned, ask what can be done next. When you face uncertainty, ask what information is needed. These questions guide your mind toward progress. Your physical environment also plays a role in your thinking. A cluttered space creates mental noise. A clean and organized space promotes clarity. Take time each day to maintain order in your surroundings. This habit reduces distraction and supports focused thinking. A calm environment allows your mind to process information more effectively. Another daily habit that strengthens problem solving is learning continuously. Spend time each day reading or listening to ideas that challenge your thinking. Learning expands your perspective. When you encounter problems, you draw from a wider range of solutions. Growth comes from exposing your mind to new information. This habit strengthens creativity and adaptability. Movement is another essential habit. Physical activity clears mental tension and improves focus. When your body moves, your mind becomes more alert. A short walk or light exercise can refresh your thinking. Many solutions appear when the mind is relaxed and active. Movement breaks mental stagnation and encourages fresh ideas. Rest is equally important. A tired mind struggles to think clearly. Sleep restores your ability to reason and make decisions. Protect your rest as part of your problem-solving practice. Consistent sleep patterns improve emotional balance and mental clarity. A well-rested mind responds thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Another valuable habit is practicing patience. Some problems require time. Rushing creates mistakes. When you feel pressure to find immediate answers, slow down and consider your options. Patience allows deeper thinking. It prevents you from choosing quick but ineffective solutions. This habit strengthens judgment and long-term thinking. Listening carefully also strengthens problem-solving. When others speak, give them your full attention. Avoid preparing your response while they talk. Listening helps you understand the full picture. Many misunderstandings arise from poor listening. Clear understanding leads to better solutions. This habit also improves relationships, which often play a role in solving challenges. Another habit is breaking tasks into smaller steps. Large tasks can feel overwhelming. When the mind feels overwhelmed, it becomes resistant. Divide tasks into manageable pieces. Focus on completing one step at a time. Each completed step builds momentum. This approach reduces stress and increases productivity. Consistency is key. Problem solving improves through repetition. Practice these habits daily. Do not wait for motivation. Discipline creates lasting change. Small actions repeated over time produce strong results. A disciplined routine strengthens your ability to handle unexpected challenges. Another useful habit is limiting unnecessary distractions. Constant interruptions weaken focus. Reduce time spent on activities that do not support your goals. Protect your attention. Attention is a valuable resource. When you manage it wisely, your thinking becomes sharper. Gratitude can also support a problem-solving mindset. Recognizing positive aspects of your life balances your perspective. When you focus only on problems, your mind becomes heavy. Gratitude reminds you that progress is possible. This balanced perspective supports calm thinking and better decisions. Another habit is maintaining curiosity. Curiosity encourages exploration. When you approach challenges with curiosity, you become open to new ideas. Instead of feeling frustrated, you become interested in finding solutions. Curiosity turns obstacles into learning opportunities. Self-discipline strengthens all these habits. Discipline helps you act even when you do not feel motivated. It keeps you consistent. A disciplined mind becomes reliable. You learn to trust yourself. This trust strengthens confidence and resilience. Your daily habits shape your identity. When you practice problem-solving consistently, you begin to see yourself as capable. This belief influences your actions. You approach challenges with confidence. You become proactive instead of reactive. There will be days when you struggle to maintain these habits. This is natural. Progress is not perfect. When you miss a day, return the next day. Consistency matters more than perfection. Each effort strengthens your mindset. Over time, these habits become automatic. You begin to approach challenges calmly. You analyze situations carefully. You search for solutions without hesitation. This transformation happens gradually. Patience and persistence are essential. Your mind becomes stronger through daily practice. Each habit contributes to your growth. Each action builds resilience. Each decision strengthens your ability to solve problems. This is how you develop a powerful mindset. Begin with small changes. Choose one habit to practice today. Build from there. Gradually add more habits. Stay consistent. Stay disciplined. Over time, your thinking will become clearer. Your decisions will become wiser. Your confidence will grow. This is how daily habits shape your ability to solve problems. Through clarity, through discipline, through consistent effort, each day becomes an opportunity to strengthen your mind. Each habit becomes a step toward lasting improvement. Chapter 50. Take responsibility and create solutions during difficult moments. Difficult moments reveal more about a person than easy days ever can. When life becomes uncertain, when plans collapse, when pressure builds, the natural instinct is to look outward. The mind searches for someone to blame, something to complain about, or a reason to delay action. This reaction is common, but it weakens your ability to move forward. Responsibility, on the other hand, creates strength. It shifts your focus from what is happening to what can be done. It turns you from a passive observer into an active participant in your own life. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything. It means recognizing that your response is always within your control. You may not choose every circumstance, but you always choose your reaction. This realization is powerful because it restores your sense of direction. When you accept responsibility, you stop waiting for perfect conditions. You begin working with what you have. Even in the most difficult situations, there is always a decision to make, a step to take, or a perspective to adjust. Difficult moments often create emotional weight. Fear, frustration, disappointment, and uncertainty can appear all at once. These emotions can cloud your thinking and make the situation feel heavier than it is. Taking responsibility begins with calming your mind enough to think clearly. Slow your breathing. Relax your posture. Give yourself a brief moment to regain control. This pause prevents impulsive reactions and allows thoughtful decisions. Once you regain clarity, examine the situation honestly. Avoid exaggeration. Avoid turning one difficulty into a permanent defeat. Focus on what is actually happening. This simple act of honesty reduces confusion. When you see the situation clearly, you can begin identifying possible solutions. Responsibility encourages this process. It directs your attention toward constructive action rather than emotional reaction. One of the most important aspects of responsibility is accepting that problems rarely solve themselves. Waiting for change without action often increases frustration. When you take responsibility, you shift from waiting to creating. You begin asking what you can do now. Even small actions create momentum. Momentum reduces helplessness and builds confidence. Responsibility also requires courage. Difficult moments often demand uncomfortable decisions. You may need to admit mistakes, have difficult conversations, or change habits. These actions can feel challenging, but they lead to growth. Avoiding responsibility delays improvement. Facing responsibility accelerates it. Courage grows each time you choose action over avoidance. Your mindset during difficult moments shapes your future. If you respond with blame, your growth slows. If you respond with responsibility, your growth accelerates. Blame focuses on the past. Responsibility focuses on the present and future. This shift in focus creates opportunity. You stop repeating the same patterns and begin building new ones. Another key element of responsibility is self-discipline. Difficult moments often tempt you to give up or withdraw. Discipline keeps you moving forward. It encourages you to continue working even when motivation is low. Discipline does not rely on emotion. It relies on commitment. This commitment strengthens your ability to create solutions. Responsibility also involves learning from experience. Every challenge carries a lesson. Reflect on what happened. Identify what you could do differently next time. This reflection turns setbacks into valuable knowledge. Over time, these lessons strengthen your decision-making skills. You become more prepared for future challenges. Your environment can also support responsible thinking. Surround yourself with people who encourage accountability. Choose conversations that focus on solutions rather than complaints. This environment reinforces your commitment to responsibility. Positive influences strengthen your mindset and help you remain focused during difficult times. Another practical step is breaking problems into smaller parts. Large challenges can feel overwhelming. When you divide them into manageable pieces, they become easier to handle. Focus on one step at a time. Each step brings you closer to resolution. This approach reduces stress and increases clarity. Responsibility also requires patience. Some solutions take time. Immediate results are not always possible. Patience allows you to continue working steadily without becoming discouraged. Progress often happens gradually. Consistent effort leads to meaningful change. Your daily habits play a role in how you handle difficult moments. A structured routine creates stability. Stability supports responsible thinking. When your life has order, you respond to challenges more effectively. Simple habits like planning your day, organizing your tasks, and maintaining focus strengthen your ability to create solutions. Another important factor is maintaining perspective. Difficult moments can feel overwhelming when viewed alone. Step back and consider the broader picture. Many challenges are temporary. This perspective reduces emotional intensity and supports thoughtful decision-making. Responsibility also includes managing your emotions wisely. Strong emotions can lead to impulsive decisions. A calm mind improves judgment. Practice staying composed during stress. This skill develops through repetition. Each time you remain calm, you strengthen your resilience. Confidence grows through responsible action. Each solution you create builds trust in your ability. This trust reduces fear and increases determination. Over time, you begin to approach challenges with confidence instead of hesitation. Another essential aspect is focusing on what you can influence. Some factors remain outside your control. Trying to control everything leads to frustration. Direct your energy toward your actions and decisions. This focus improves efficiency and reduces stress. Responsibility also involves taking initiative. Do not wait for others to solve problems. Begin with your own actions. Initiative demonstrates leadership and self-reliance. It encourages progress even when circumstances are uncertain. Learning continuously strengthens your ability to create solutions. Expand your knowledge. Explore new ideas. Growth improves your adaptability. A flexible mind handles difficult moments more effectively. Physical well-being supports responsible thinking as well. Rest, movement, and proper nutrition improve mental clarity. A healthy body supports a focused mind. This connection enhances your ability to respond thoughtfully. Another helpful practice is maintaining optimism grounded in reality. Believe that solutions exist, but remain practical. This balanced mindset encourages persistence without ignoring challenges. Responsibility also includes recognizing opportunities within difficulty. Challenges often reveal new possibilities. Stay open to change. Adaptation leads to growth. Self-awareness is another powerful tool. Understand your strengths and weaknesses. Use your strengths to create solutions. Work on improving your weaknesses. This awareness improves your effectiveness. Difficult moments also strengthen character. Each challenge tests your discipline and determination. By taking responsibility, you develop resilience. Resilience prepares you for future obstacles. Consistency is essential. Responsibility is not a one-time action. It is a daily commitment. Each decision shapes your mindset. Over time, responsible thinking becomes natural. Another valuable habit is focusing on progress rather than perfection. Perfect solutions rarely exist. Aim for improvement. Small steps create momentum. Your mindset influences those around you. When you take responsibility, you inspire others. Your actions demonstrate strength and determination. This influence creates a positive environment. Gratitude can also support responsible thinking. Acknowledge what is working well. Gratitude balances perspective and reduces stress. Reflection at the end of each day strengthens responsibility. Review your actions. Identify improvements. This practice encourages growth. There will be moments when responsibility feels difficult. These moments are opportunities for growth. Each challenge strengthens your discipline. Your future depends on your response to difficult moments. Responsibility transforms obstacles into opportunities. It builds confidence and resilience. Begin with your next challenge. Accept responsibility. Identify possible solutions. Take action. Repeat this process consistently. This is how you develop strength. This is how you create solutions. This is how you move forward during difficult moments. Chapter 6e. Focus attention on actions that improve outcomes immediately. Attention is one of the most valuable forces in your life because it decides where your energy goes. Many people face problems and spend most of their time thinking about the size of the problem instead of the actions that can improve it. They talk about the issue, replay the issue, and feel the weight of the issue, but nothing changes until attention turns into action. A powerful mind does not stay trapped in concern. It moves toward what can help right now. That habit is what changes outcomes. When something is wrong, the first temptation is often to overthink. The mind starts collecting reasons, fears, and worst-case scenarios. It builds a heavy cloud around the situation and makes the problem feel larger than it is. This does not help. What helps is a direct shift in focus. Ask one clear question. What action right now would improve this situation even a little? That question cuts through confusion and creates movement. It brings the mind back to the present, where real change happens. Immediate improvement does not always mean a big breakthrough. Often it means cleaning one part of the room, making one phone call, correcting one mistake, sending one message, drinking water, writing the plan, starting the task, taking the first step. These actions may look simple, but simple actions repeated with intention have great power. They stop the drift. They prevent the mind from sinking into helpless thinking. They create visible progress, and progress gives energy. A common mistake is waiting for the perfect time to begin. That perfect time rarely arrives. Conditions are rarely perfect. You will almost always feel slightly tired, slightly unsure, or slightly unprepared. That is normal. What matters is whether you act anyway. A solution-oriented person does not demand ideal conditions. They use the conditions they have. They do the useful thing now, not later. That habit builds a life that moves forward even under pressure. Your attention should be trained like a muscle. Left alone, it tends to wander. It moves toward fear, distraction, and unnecessary noise. To strengthen it, give it direction. When a problem appears, write down the immediate actions that could improve the outcome. Keep the list short and practical. Do not write vague ideas. Write actions. Call the person, review the data, fix the error, clear the schedule, rest for 20 minutes, start the draft, prepare the meal. Each action should point directly toward relief, correction, or progress. The mind becomes more effective when it stops asking emotional questions first and begins asking useful ones. Not why is everything happening to me? Not what if this gets worse? Instead ask what is the first thing I can do that will help? Ask what task will reduce pressure the fastest. Ask what can be removed, corrected, or simplified. These questions train your attention to look for leverage. They guide the mind toward immediate usefulness. One of the strongest habits you can build is acting before doubt grows stronger. Doubt often feeds on delay. The longer you wait, the more reasons it invents. The longer you sit still, the heavier the task feels. Action interrupts this pattern. Once you start, the task becomes more real and less frightening. A hard conversation becomes a conversation. A messy project becomes a set of steps. A painful situation becomes something you can handle piece by piece. Immediate action reduces the power of imagination. Focus also improves when you limit unnecessary options. Too many choices can weaken momentum. When everything seems possible, nothing gets done. In difficult moments, simplify your next move. Choose one action that matters most. Give it full attention. This narrow focus prevents waste. It protects your mind from scattering across too many concerns. Strong attention is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing the right thing now. It helps to understand that the first action does not need to solve the whole problem. It only needs to improve the situation. This is an important difference. Many people get stuck because they expect one move to fix everything. That expectation creates pressure and delays action. A practical mind knows that improvement can happen in stages. Clear one obstacle, reduce one burden, create one gain, then move to the next step. Progress does not have to be dramatic to be valuable. The body can support this process as well. When you feel mentally stuck, change your physical state. Stand up, walk for a few minutes, stretch, open a window, drink water, write with your hand instead of thinking in circles. Physical movement often helps the mind escape the loop of worry. It gives your attention a new target and makes it easier to return to action. A change in posture can support a change in thinking. Another way to improve outcomes immediately is to remove what is making the problem worse. This is often overlooked. People spend all their energy searching for a perfect solution while ignoring the simple thing that is increasing the damage. Identify the habits, distractions, or excuses that are worsening the situation. Remove them quickly. Stop the unnecessary spending. Turn off the distraction. End the conversation that goes nowhere. Put the unfinished task in order. Sometimes the fastest improvement comes from stopping the wrong thing. The ability to focus attention on useful action also depends on emotional discipline. Strong feelings can pull attention away from what matters. Frustration wants to complain, fear wants to freeze, anger wants to react, sadness wants to withdraw. None of these emotions are evil. They are human, but they do not deserve command. You can feel them without obeying them. That is maturity. When the emotion rises, return to the question of action. What helps now? What reduces the damage? What moves this forward? Every day gives you chances to practice this habit. A small delay at work, a disagreement at home, a missed deadline, a financial surprise, a personal mistake. Each of these moments asks whether you will waste energy on frustration or use energy on improvement. The more often you choose improvement, the more natural it becomes. Eventually your mind begins to look for action automatically. That is a powerful transformation. There is also great value in measuring the next step by usefulness instead of difficulty. People often avoid the action that would help most because it feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is not the same as danger. The useful action is often the one that challenges your pride, your laziness, or your fear. It may require admitting a mistake, asking for help, changing a plan, or starting over. These are not easy actions. They are effective actions. A focused mind learns to respect effectiveness more than comfort. A useful exercise is to pause whenever you feel stuck and ask what action would make the next hour better. Not the next year, not the next month, the next hour. This question is practical because it breaks the future into a manageable size. It brings your attention back to what you can influence immediately. When you improve the next hour, the day improves. When the day improves, the week improves. Small gains accumulate faster than people realize. Your surroundings can either support or weaken your attention. If your space is messy, your mind may follow the same pattern. If your phone keeps interrupting you, your attention will fracture. If noise fills your environment, your thinking will feel crowded. Create conditions that help you stay focused. A clear desk, a quiet room, a simple plan, fewer interruptions. These changes are not glamorous, but they make immediate action easier. The strongest results often come from consistent attention rather than intense effort. A single burst of motivation is not enough. A calm, steady focus on useful actions creates real change. When your mind learns to return again and again to what matters, you build reliability. People trust reliability. Progress depends on it. Your life becomes stronger when your attention is trained to notice the next constructive move instead of drifting into worry. It is also wise to review your actions at the end of the day. Ask what improved the situation. Ask what wasted time. Ask what should be repeated tomorrow. This reflection turns experience into guidance. It helps you notice which actions truly matter. Over time, you become more skilled at identifying the moves that create the best results fastest. Do not wait to feel inspired before acting. Inspiration often follows action. Start with the smallest useful step. Confidence grows when your mind sees evidence of progress. Even a modest improvement can lift your spirit. It reminds you that you are not trapped. It proves that action changes reality. This proof matters because it builds trust in yourself. When life feels heavy, remember that attention is choice. You can stare at the burden, or you can focus on the next helpful move. You can feed fear, or you can feed progress. You can replay the problem, or you can improve the outcome. Each choice shapes your character. Each useful action makes you stronger. A person who masters attention does not need to control every event. They simply learn to respond to each event with purpose. That is enough to change a life. That is enough to win more often. That is enough to build a future based on action instead of hesitation. Begin with one problem today. Cut away the noise. Identify one action that will improve the outcome immediately. Do it without delay. Then repeat this practice tomorrow. Over time, your mind will become faster, cleaner, and more decisive. You will stop wasting energy on what is draining you and begin investing energy in what is helping you. That is how real change starts. That is how outcomes improve. That is how a focused mind learns to win. Chapter 70. Turn setbacks into decisions that move forward today. Setbacks arrive without warning. Plans fail, efforts fall short, and expectations collapse. These moments test your direction and your discipline. Many people see setbacks as signals to stop, retreat, or doubt their ability. They allow disappointment to slow their movement and weaken their confidence. Yet a setback does not decide your future. The decision you make after the setback determines what happens next. This is where real growth begins. The ability to turn setbacks into forward movement is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. A setback often brings emotional weight. Disappointment can make your thoughts heavy. Frustration can cloud your judgment. Doubt can quietly grow and convince you to abandon your goals. These reactions are natural, but they do not have to control you. The first step is to acknowledge what happened without exaggeration. Accept the setback as part of the journey. Avoid labeling it as permanent failure. When you remain calm, your thinking becomes clearer and your decisions become stronger. The mind tends to replay setbacks repeatedly. It revisits mistakes, missed chances, and uncomfortable moments. This habit drains energy and keeps you stuck in the past. Progress requires a different approach. Instead of replaying the setback, shift your focus toward the decision that moves you forward. Ask yourself what you can do today that improves your situation. This question changes your perspective. It moves your attention from regret to action. Every setback carries information. It reveals what worked and what did not. When you examine setbacks carefully, they become valuable teachers. Reflect on the situation honestly. Identify what led to the setback. Consider what adjustments can be made. This reflection should be calm and constructive. The purpose is not to criticize yourself, but to learn. Learning transforms setbacks into stepping stones. One of the most important habits is making decisions quickly after a setback. Delay allows doubt to grow stronger. Action reduces uncertainty. The decision does not need to be perfect. It only needs to create forward movement. Even a small step breaks the feeling of stagnation. It reminds you that progress is still possible. Each decision strengthens your confidence and keeps your momentum alive. Another helpful practice is narrowing your focus. A setback can make your goals feel distant. Break your next step into something manageable. Focus on what can be done today. This approach prevents overwhelm. It keeps your energy directed toward progress instead of frustration. Small steps taken consistently lead to meaningful change. Setbacks often challenge your self-belief. You may begin to question your abilities. This is where discipline becomes essential. Continue taking action even when confidence is low. Confidence grows through effort, not through waiting. Each step forward rebuilds your belief in yourself. Over time, setbacks lose their power because you learn to move forward regardless of doubt. Your environment can influence how you handle setbacks. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth and resilience. Conversations focused on solutions help you stay motivated. Avoid environments that reinforce negativity or blame. A supportive environment strengthens your determination and helps you maintain forward movement. Another key element is maintaining perspective. A setback is often temporary, but the mind may treat it as permanent. Step back and consider the broader picture. Many successful journeys include multiple setbacks. Progress rarely follows a straight path. Understanding this reduces the emotional impact and allows you to move forward calmly. Your daily habits also play a role. A structured routine provides stability during difficult times. When your routine remains steady, setbacks feel less disruptive. Continue with your productive habits. This consistency keeps your mind focused and prevents you from drifting into discouragement. Patience is also important. Some setbacks require time to overcome. Immediate solutions may not always be available. Patience allows you to keep working without frustration. Steady effort gradually improves your situation. Persistence turns setbacks into opportunities for growth. Another valuable approach is reframing setbacks as adjustments. Instead of viewing them as failures, see them as signals to change direction. This mindset encourages flexibility. Adaptation strengthens your ability to navigate challenges. A flexible mindset allows you to move forward even when plans change. Physical well-being also influences your response to setbacks. Fatigue increases negativity. Proper rest improves clarity. Movement reduces stress. Taking care of your body supports balanced thinking. A healthy body helps you respond to setbacks with resilience. Self-awareness is another powerful tool. Recognize your emotional reactions. Understand your tendencies. This awareness allows you to respond deliberately instead of reacting impulsively. When you understand yourself, you make better decisions. Gratitude can also support forward movement. Even during setbacks, identify aspects of your life that remain stable. Gratitude balances your perspective. It reduces discouragement and helps you stay motivated. Another practical habit is writing down your decisions. This creates accountability. It also provides clarity. When your decisions are written, you are more likely to follow through. This habit strengthens discipline and consistency. Your mindset shapes how you interpret setbacks. A growth mindset views setbacks as part of learning. This perspective encourages persistence. It also reduces fear of failure. When you see setbacks as temporary, you remain focused on progress. Another helpful practice is celebrating small wins. After a setback, even minor progress deserves recognition. These moments rebuild motivation. They remind you that improvement is happening. Small victories create momentum. Setbacks also strengthen resilience. Each challenge you overcome increases your ability to handle future difficulties. This growth builds confidence. Over time, setbacks become less intimidating because you trust your ability to recover. Taking initiative is essential. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Begin with what you have. Initiative creates movement. Movement creates opportunity. This process transforms setbacks into progress. Reflection at the end of each day reinforces growth. Review your decisions. Identify what worked. Adjust your approach. This continuous improvement strengthens your mindset. Consistency is key. Turning setbacks into decisions requires repeated effort. Each decision shapes your character. Over time, this habit becomes natural. You begin responding to setbacks with calm determination. Your future depends on your response to setbacks. They can slow you down or push you forward. The choice belongs to you. By making decisions that create movement, you transform challenges into opportunities. Begin with your next setback. Accept it calmly. Reflect briefly. Make a decision that moves you forward today. Take action. Repeat this process consistently. Over time, your resilience will grow. Your confidence will strengthen. Your progress will continue. This is how setbacks become stepping stones. Through decisions, through action, through persistence. Each step forward builds a stronger version of yourself. Chapter 80: Strengthen discipline through consistent solution-oriented daily practice. Discipline is not built in one bold moment. It is built through ordinary choices repeated with care. It is built when no one is watching and when the reward is not immediate. It is built when you decide to keep your mind steady even while the day feels messy. A solution-oriented life requires this kind of discipline because problems do not disappear simply because they are uncomfortable. They respond to consistent effort. They yield to clear thinking repeated over time. They improve when you show up every day with a mind that is ready to act. Many people think discipline is only about forcing yourself to do hard things. That is part of it, but not the whole truth. Real discipline is also mental order. It is the habit of directing attention toward what helps instead of what drains you. It is the choice to keep asking useful questions. It is the decision to return to action after distraction, disappointment, or delay. A disciplined mind does not wait for mood to rise before it works. It does not depend on inspiration. It relies on practice. Solution-oriented daily practice begins with intention. Each morning offers a chance to decide how you will use your mind. Before the noise of the day takes over, choose the attitude you will carry. Decide that when problems appear, you will look for what can be done. Decide that you will not feed complaint. Decide that you will protect your focus. This morning decision may seem simple, but it shapes the entire day. It acts like a compass. When pressure comes, you can return to that choice and remember what kind of person you are trying to become. Discipline grows when your day has structure. A scattered day makes a scattered mind. A clear routine helps your mind stay steady. Wake up at a consistent time. Begin with quiet thought before stepping into demands. Review your priorities. Identify the most important task. Give your best energy to the work that creates movement. When you begin this way, your mind learns that progress matters more than comfort. That lesson strengthens over time. Another daily practice that builds discipline is keeping your problems small enough to handle. When a challenge appears, do not allow it to become a mental mountain. Break it down. Separate the facts from the fear. Identify the one step that would make the situation slightly better. Then do that step without delay. This habit trains your mind to move. The more often you do it, the less likely you are to freeze when life becomes difficult. Discipline also depends on honesty. You cannot solve what you refuse to see. If a habit is weakening you, admit it. If you have been avoiding a task, admit it. If your attention is being wasted, admit it. Honest thinking is powerful because it removes illusion. It allows you to work with reality instead of fantasy. A solution-oriented person tells the truth quickly because truth saves time. Truth exposes the next action. Truth clears the fog. Daily practice should include moments of reflection. At the end of the day, look back without judgment and ask what moved your life forward and what held it back. This is not about self-punishment. It is about learning. Reflection helps you notice patterns. Maybe your energy falls at a certain hour. Maybe your focus weakens when your space is cluttered. Maybe your mind becomes negative when you skip rest. These discoveries are valuable because they show you where discipline is needed most. Awareness turns weak spots into training grounds. One of the strongest habits you can build is acting before resistance grows too large. The mind often tries to delay useful work by creating reasons to wait. It says you are too tired. It says the task is too complicated. It says you can do it later. Discipline answers with motion. Start the task for 5 minutes. Make the first call. Open the document. Clean the desk. Write the first sentence. Small action breaks the spell of resistance. Once momentum begins, the mind often follows. A solution-oriented practice also requires protecting your attention. Discipline is not only about doing what is hard. It is also about refusing what is pointless. Every day your focus is pulled by unnecessary noise, random scrolling, empty conversations, repeated worry, emotional reactions that do not improve anything. A disciplined mind learns to say no. It rejects the habits that weaken clarity. It guards its energy carefully. That protection gives strength to the actions that matter. Another part of consistent practice is building systems instead of relying on memory. Write down your priorities. Keep a simple schedule. Use reminders when needed. Prepare for common problems before they appear. Systems reduce chaos. They make discipline easier because they remove the need to decide everything from scratch. A good system supports a steady mind. It turns effort into habit and habit into character. Your body plays a role in discipline as well. Mental strength is harder to maintain when the body is neglected. Sleep on time. Eat in a way that supports stable energy. Move every day. These are not side concerns. They are part of solution-oriented living. A tired body becomes an easy home for negative thinking. A cared-for body gives the mind the fuel it needs to stay focused and resilient. Discipline also deepens when you keep your promises to yourself. Each promise matters. If you say you will wake up at a certain time, do it. If you say you will finish a task, finish it. If you say you will think before reacting, practice that restraint. Self-trust is built through small, fulfilled commitments. When you repeatedly keep your word to yourself, your confidence grows. You begin to believe in your own reliability. That belief strengthens discipline more than any outside praise. There will be days when your practice feels weak. That is normal. Progress is not measured by flawless performance. It is measured by return. How quickly do you come back to your discipline after slipping? How fast do you recover from distraction? How firmly do you choose a better response after a hard moment? The return is where strength lives. Do not waste energy on shame. Use that energy to resume the work. A solution-oriented daily practice also includes gratitude for progress. Notice the improvements you are making. Recognize the habits that are becoming stronger. Acknowledge the moments when you responded better than before. This keeps discipline from becoming dry or harsh. It reminds you that growth is happening even when the results feel slow. Gratitude keeps the mind open and balanced. Another essential discipline is learning to endure ordinary effort without constant reward. Many people quit because they expect immediate results, but meaningful change often comes from patient repetition. You may read, plan, act, and reflect for weeks before the full effect becomes visible. Stay with the process. Trust the value of small daily actions. What feels small today can become powerful over time. Repeated practice creates a new standard within you. A disciplined mind also pays attention to the company it keeps. The people around you shape your habits. Spend time with those who respect effort, truth, and growth. Limit exposure to voices that celebrate laziness, blame, or confusion. Environment matters because habits spread quietly. Strong company supports strong practice. Weak company makes discipline harder to preserve. The goal is not to become severe or joyless. The goal is to become dependable. To be someone who can be trusted in hard moments. To be someone who does not collapse when the day becomes difficult. To be someone who keeps thinking clearly and acting wisely. That kind of strength does not come from one dramatic decision. It comes from daily practice that slowly reshapes your character. Each day offers a new opportunity to practice this way of living. You can begin again with better focus. You can return to your priorities. You can choose one action that improves your situation. You can keep your word to yourself. You can protect your attention. You can reflect honestly. You can continue. That is discipline. That is growth. That is the quiet power of a solution-oriented mind. Stay close to the work. Stay committed to the habit. Stay willing to begin again. Over time, your daily practice will sharpen your judgment, strengthen your patience, and deepen your confidence. Your mind will become more reliable. Your actions will become more useful. Your life will begin to reflect the strength you have built one day at a time. Chapter 90. Choose calm thinking before reacting to stressful situations. Stressful situations arrive without warning. A sudden message changes your plans. A mistake creates pressure. Someone speaks in a way that triggers frustration. A delay ruins your schedule. These moments test more than patience. They test your ability to think clearly when emotions rise. The difference between reacting and responding often decides the outcome. One moment of calm thinking can prevent hours of regret. One controlled response can protect relationships, opportunities, and personal confidence. Calm thinking is not something reserved for naturally quiet people. It is a skill that can be trained. It is built through awareness, discipline, and practice. Most reactions happen automatically because the mind is used to moving quickly. Stress activates fear, anger, or urgency. The body tightens. Thoughts become narrow. Decisions become rushed. When this pattern repeats often, reacting becomes a habit. Breaking that habit begins with recognizing the moment before the reaction takes over. When stress appears, the first step is to pause. This pause does not need to be long. Even a few seconds can change everything. During this pause, notice your breathing. Notice the tension in your body. Notice the speed of your thoughts. This awareness creates space. In that space, calm thinking can begin. Without this space, emotion controls the outcome. With it, you regain authority over your response. Calm thinking also requires separating facts from assumptions. Stressful moments often cause the mind to create worst-case scenarios. A delayed reply becomes rejection. A small mistake becomes failure. A disagreement becomes personal attack. These assumptions increase emotional pressure. Instead, focus on what is actually happening. Ask yourself what you truly know. Ask what remains unclear. This shift reduces intensity and helps you see options that were hidden by emotional noise. Another important part of calm thinking is slowing your words. When stress rises, people often speak quickly. Fast speech leads to careless statements. Careless statements create new problems. By choosing slower words, you give your mind time to evaluate your response. You reduce misunderstandings. You maintain dignity even in difficult conversations. Calm speech reflects calm thinking. It shows strength without aggression. Your posture also influences your mind during stress. When you tighten your shoulders, clench your jaw, or pace rapidly, your body signals danger. This reinforces emotional reaction. Relaxing your posture sends a different message. Loosen your shoulders. Take a steady breath. Stand or sit with balance. These simple adjustments help your mind settle. Physical calm supports mental clarity. Another powerful practice is asking constructive questions during stressful moments. Instead of asking why this is happening, ask what can be done next. Instead of focusing on blame, focus on improvement. Instead of thinking about loss, think about recovery. These questions guide your mind toward solutions. They reduce emotional intensity and create movement. Calm thinking does not mean ignoring emotions. Emotions carry useful information. Frustration may show that something needs attention. Fear may signal risk. Disappointment may reveal expectations. The goal is not to eliminate these feelings. The goal is to prevent them from controlling your actions. Calm thinking allows you to acknowledge emotions while still making wise decisions. Daily preparation strengthens your ability to remain calm. Practice calm thinking in small situations. When traffic slows, choose patience. When plans change, adjust without complaint. When someone disagrees, listen carefully. These small moments build mental strength. When larger challenges arrive, your mind will already know how to remain steady. Your inner dialogue also matters during stress. Harsh self-talk increases pressure. Thoughts like everything is ruined or nothing works weaken your ability to respond calmly. Replace these thoughts with steady reminders. Tell yourself that you can handle the situation. Remind yourself that clarity matters more than speed. Encourage yourself to think carefully. This supportive dialogue builds resilience. Another important element is accepting that not everything is under your control. Many stressful situations arise from external events. Weather changes. People behave unpredictably. Unexpected obstacles appear. Fighting what cannot be controlled wastes energy. Calm thinking focuses on what remains within your influence. Your attitude, your effort, your next action. This focus reduces frustration and increases effectiveness. Time also plays a role in calm responses. When possible, delay important decisions during intense stress. Give yourself time to think. A decision made with calm clarity is often stronger than one made under pressure. This does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means choosing the right moment to act. Your environment can either support calm thinking or weaken it. A cluttered space creates mental noise. Constant notifications break concentration. Loud surroundings increase tension. Create moments of quiet during the day. Step away from noise when possible. Give your mind space to recover. These habits strengthen your ability to remain calm when challenges appear. Calm thinking also grows when you learn from past reactions. Reflect on moments when you reacted quickly. Consider what you could have done differently. Think about how calm thinking would have improved the situation. This reflection turns mistakes into lessons. Over time, your responses become more thoughtful. Respect plays a major role in calm responses. When you treat others with respect even during disagreement, tension decreases. Listen fully before responding. avoid interrupting, acknowledge different perspectives. This approach builds trust and keeps conversations productive. Calm thinking strengthens relationships because it prevents unnecessary conflict. Another helpful habit is focusing on long-term consequences. Stress often pushes people to seek immediate relief. They argue quickly. They abandon tasks. They avoid responsibility. Calm thinking considers the bigger picture. Ask yourself what response will help you tomorrow. Ask what action aligns with your values. This perspective encourages wiser decisions. Your breathing can become a powerful anchor during stressful moments. Slow, steady breathing signals safety to your body. It reduces physical tension. It clears your thoughts. Even a few deep breaths can restore balance. This simple practice can be used anywhere and at any time. Confidence grows when you handle stress with calm thinking. Each time you respond wisely, you strengthen self-trust. You begin to believe in your ability to manage pressure. This confidence reduces fear of future challenges. You no longer see stress as something to avoid. You see it as an opportunity to practice strength. Calm thinking also protects your energy. Reacting emotionally drains your focus. It creates additional problems. It leaves you feeling exhausted. Responding calmly conserves your strength. It allows you to move forward with clarity and purpose. This skill does not develop overnight. It grows through repetition. Each stressful moment becomes a chance to practice. Some days you will respond better than others. Progress comes from persistence. Continue training your mind. Continue choosing calm thinking. Over time, your reactions will slow. Your thoughts will become clearer. Your decisions will become wiser. Stressful situations will no longer feel overwhelming. You will handle them with quiet confidence. You will remain steady while others rush. You will think clearly while others react. Calm thinking is a form of strength that transforms your life. It improves your relationships. It sharpens your judgment. It increases your resilience. It helps you move forward even in difficult circumstances. By choosing calm thinking before reacting, you gain control over your actions and shape better outcomes. Every stressful moment offers a choice. React quickly or think calmly. This choice may seem small, but it carries lasting impact. Choose calm thinking. Choose clarity. Choose discipline. With practice, this habit will become part of your character, and when challenges appear, you will respond with strength, wisdom, and steady confidence. Chapter 70. Commit to growth and win regardless circumstances. Growth is a choice that does not depend on conditions. Life will never wait for perfect circumstances. Challenges, obstacles, and unexpected changes will always appear. Success does not come to those who wait for easy moments. It comes to those who commit to growth no matter the environment, no matter the pressure, no matter the setbacks. Choosing growth is deciding that learning, effort, and improvement are non-negotiable. It is the belief that progress is possible even when the world feels against you. This mindset separates those who advance from those who remain stagnant. Committing to growth begins with accepting responsibility for your own development. Waiting for someone else to teach you, inspire you, or fix your situation leaves your future in their hands. Growth requires ownership. Take charge of your learning, your habits, and your decisions. Recognize that your progress is your responsibility alone. Once this truth is embraced, every circumstance becomes a classroom. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to strengthen your skills, sharpen your judgment, and build resilience. A commitment to growth also means consistency. Daily action matters more than sporadic effort. Learning a new skill, improving your mindset, or strengthening your habits cannot be done in bursts alone. Consistent steps create compounding results. Reading, reflecting, practicing, and taking purposeful action every day builds momentum. Even small daily improvements accumulate into significant change. The key is to never stop moving forward even when progress feels slow or invisible. Challenges are inevitable, but commitment transforms how you see them. Obstacles become signals rather than threats. They reveal areas that need attention, patience, and persistence. When you commit to growth, you stop asking why these hardships are happening and start asking what can be learned from them. Each challenge is a teacher, and each difficulty is a chance to expand your abilities. A growth-focused mindset transforms fear and frustration into curiosity and determination. Embracing discomfort is central to growth. The easiest path rarely creates strength or mastery. Choosing growth requires stepping into situations that challenge you, that stretch your patience, that demand resilience. This may mean having difficult conversations, taking responsibility for mistakes, or pushing through fatigue and fear. Growth does not reward avoidance. It rewards deliberate action in the face of resistance. Every uncomfortable step strengthens your capacity to handle future challenges with confidence. Committing to growth also requires a clear focus on solutions. Life will throw problems at you continuously. It is easy to become distracted by worry, blame, or doubt. A growth mindset does not linger in the problem. It immediately turns attention toward what can be done. It asks, what is within my control? What small action will improve this situation? Which step today brings me closer to progress? This focus ensures that growth is practical, actionable, and real. Reflection is another essential part of winning regardless of circumstances. Regularly examine your actions, choices, and results. Identify where you succeeded and where you fell short. This is not a chance to judge or criticize yourself unnecessarily. Reflection is about learning. Understanding past decisions equips you to make better choices in the future. Continuous evaluation keeps your growth aligned with your goals and prevents repetition of mistakes. Without reflection, effort can be wasted. With reflection, every experience becomes a building block. Building resilience is inseparable from committing to growth. Setbacks, failures, and mistakes will always occur. Those who grow accept this reality and remain steadfast. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly, learn from what went wrong, and continue forward with renewed clarity. The more you practice resilience, the less intimidating circumstances become. Life becomes a series of manageable challenges rather than insurmountable crises. You gain confidence in your ability to handle anything that arises. Discipline is the backbone of winning regardless of circumstances. Without consistent effort, growth is fragile. Discipline ensures that your choices, habits, and focus remain aligned with your commitment. It is the structure that supports action when motivation fades. Even in chaos, a disciplined person continues to act with purpose. They prioritize progress over comfort, clarity over distraction, and persistence over delay. Discipline transforms intention into results. Commitment to growth also thrives in a learning mindset. Every situation, positive or negative, contains lessons. Observing, questioning, and adapting are essential. Growth is not about repeating the same behavior and hoping for a better outcome. It is about evolving. It is about improving your thinking, strengthening your skills, and refining your approach. When you commit to learning from every experience, your progress accelerates and setbacks become opportunities rather than roadblocks. Patience is necessary because growth is rarely immediate. Circumstances may resist change. Results may be delayed. Outcomes often take longer than expected. Committing to growth means trusting the process, continuing to take action, and maintaining faith in your efforts. Small wins compound over time. Consistent focus on improvement gradually reshapes your reality. Persistence combined with patience creates lasting success. A commitment to growth also includes mental clarity. Distractions, negative influences, and unnecessary comparisons drain energy and focus. Protect your attention. Choose what feeds your mind and removes what weakens it. Surround yourself with environments, resources, and people that encourage development. Mental clarity allows you to see possibilities, make wiser decisions, and respond effectively to challenges. Focused attention is a multiplier of all growth efforts. Your attitude shapes how you experience circumstances. Optimism is not blind positivity. It is the conscious choice to find opportunity, action, and progress within any situation. A committed person maintains an attitude of resourcefulness and determination. They ask what they can control, what they can influence, and what they can improve right now. Optimism combined with action creates momentum and ensures that growth is not derailed by temporary setbacks. Accountability strengthens commitment. Hold yourself responsible for progress. Track your actions, review results, and adjust when necessary. When you consistently evaluate your performance, you maintain control over your development. External accountability is helpful, but internal accountability is powerful because it relies on your own standards. Personal responsibility ensures that growth is not dependent on luck, other people, or circumstance. It relies solely on your effort and discipline. Celebrating progress is also part of sustainable growth. Recognizing the results of effort reinforces positive behavior. Even small improvements matter. Celebrating achievement fuels motivation and reminds you that your actions have tangible impact. Growth is encouraging when visible, reinforcing continued effort. Acknowledging milestones ensures that persistence feels rewarding and meaningful, even in difficult conditions. Committing to growth teaches adaptability. Circumstances are never fully under control. When you focus on solutions, learn continuously, and maintain discipline, you develop flexibility. Adaptation allows you to respond effectively when plans change, obstacles arise, or unexpected challenges appear. Adaptable growth ensures that winning is not dependent on ideal circumstances. You succeed despite unpredictability because your mindset, habits, and actions are steady. The final principle of winning regardless of circumstances is persistence. Challenges may return, mistakes may repeat, and fatigue may test resolve. Persistence is continuing to act, learn, and improve despite difficulty. It is the refusal to surrender to fear, frustration, or uncertainty. Persistence, combined with a committed mindset, ensures that growth becomes inevitable. Those who persist win more often because they refuse to give their power away. Commitment to growth is a lifelong practice. It is not something that ends with a single achievement. Life will always present new tests, new opportunities, and new lessons. Embracing growth means dedicating yourself to continual improvement. It means training your mind, refining your habits, and expanding your abilities throughout every stage of life. This dedication creates mastery over circumstances rather than being mastered by them. Begin today with deliberate action. Identify one area where you will grow. Take a step to improve, no matter how small. Reflect, adjust, and continue. Repeat consistently. Over time, this practice builds a life that thrives under any condition. Growth becomes habit, strength becomes character, and success becomes inevitable. No circumstance can hold back a person committed to progress. Winning is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about moving forward regardless of what happens, shaping your life with purpose, wisdom, and relentless effort.